In another perfect example of little right-wing dipshits pretending to be real men, this week, super duper tough guy and mega macho alpha bro Charlie Kirk decided to go on a date to a football game where he forgot to take out his ultra alpha earplugs before snapping a quick selfie and posting it online to Twitter. Something his own fans were quick to notice and even quicker to call him a pussy for. Which then prompted old Chucky to run his macho ass over to Uber Alpha Photoshop and masculinely edit out the earplugs before uploading the photo again to his Instagram. There he is, with his earplugs there, looking all macho. And his fan base showing him some love here. Earplugs at a sporting event. At least you took the mask off for the picture. Earplugs are beta. Earplugs at a football game, you absolute boner. Watch on your couch if you're gonna wear earplugs. Earplugs at a sporting event for an adult is beta energy. Change my mind. Those earplugs aren't it. Do your earplugs match your purse? Are you really wearing earplugs? Earplugs in like a fucking 6-year-old, ha 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 ha. Imagine wearing earplugs to a football game. And then, hey, what do you know? Same picture, magically without the earplugs. Huh, how's about that? It's very alpha to cave into, Twitter trolls. Super duper alpha. Anyway, hey, you guys want to see a dead body? Well, then you should have been watching the Texas Senate debate between Colin Allred and Ted Cruz, because Cruz immediately got obliterated by Allred, who then spent the next hour mopping the floor with his corpse.
And I know that our border communities are real places where folks are trying to raise their families and get ahead. But time and again, Senator Cruz treats our border communities like he's going on some kind of a safari. He comes down, he puts on his outdoor clothes, he tries to look tough. And he goes back to Washington and does nothing to help. In fact, he does worse than nothing. When the toughest border security bill in a generation came up in the United States Senate, $20 billion for border security, he said, we don't need a border bill. That's what he said. And listen, this is a pattern for him. He's never there for us when we need him. When the lights went out in the energy capital of the world, he went to Cancun. On January 6th, when a mob was storming the Capitol, he was hiding in a supply closet. And when the toughest border security bill in a generation came up in the United States Senate, he took it down. We don't have to have a senator like this. Let me be very clear. We had a bill. This is a pattern. He talks tough, but he never shows up. We have a phrase for this in Texas, all hat and no cattle. That's what Senator Cruz is. 6 more years of this? Come on. He's had 12 years to do it already. Give someone who actually will a chance. Because IVF didn't need protecting until he got his way of going after it. No one was thinking that we needed to protect IVF until he was singularly responsible for pursuing, by putting in place judges at the district court level, the circuit court level, and Supreme Court level, folks who would put at risk this miracle technology. And you know what? It's not just that. When he ran for president in 2016, he supported the Personhood Amendment. You know what that means? That would make something like IVF illegal. But also ban certain forms of birth control. You did. Yep. You did. When you ran for president in 2016. You can look it up, folks. You don't have to believe me. Again, you've been seeing him lie to you for 12 years. Let's have a senator who doesn't. And I will always protect IVF, but it was at risk because of him.
Senator,
Sure. You get 60 seconds, sir.
Sure. Well, I want to thank you all for moderating. You did an excellent job. I want to thank Senator Cruz for a spirited debate. Listen, we're all Texans. My idol, John Lewis, used to say that we might have come here on different ships, but we're in the same boat now. We're all Americans, and we're all Texans. We need a leader who will bring us together around our shared values. That's what I've tried to do in my 6 years in Congress. That's the exact opposite of what Senator Cruz has done. Whatever he says tonight, you've seen it for 12 years. He's been one of the most divisive senators in the entire country. If you don't like how things are going in Washington right now, well, you know what? He is singularly responsible for it. He has introduced this new kind of angertainment where you just get people upset and then you podcast about it and you write a book about it and you make some money on it. But you're not actually there when people need you. Like when the lights went out, when 30 million Texans were relying on a senator to spring into action. He went to Cancun. That's who he is. If you give me the chance to be your United States Senator, I'll never abandon you. And I'm asking for your vote and for your support in this election.
Yeah, so, doesn't seem like it went too well for Cruzy baby there. Come on, Texas. You couldn't have an easier choice right now. Don't screw this up. Do you want the former linebacker or, whatever the hell this is? I think this girl's reaction sums it up pretty nicely. That girl is all of us. Anyway, another day, another Republican found guilty of voter fraud, voting multiple times in multiple elections. This time, it's attorney James Saunders, 56, of Ohio. Saunders is a Trump donor who donated $3,000 to the dotard. This week, he got handed a 3-year prison sentence and a $10,000 fine. But cut Republicans some slack, this is only like the 10,000th case of them getting busted doing that thing that they're always accusing Democrats of doing without a single shred of evidence to back it up.
Finds you guilty of counts 1 and 2 in the indictment.
None of Saunders' family or friends were there in the courtroom. The 56-year-old was found guilty of voting several times in the 2020 and 2022 general elections. According to the Cuyahoga County prosecutor, in 2020, Saunders voted in person in Ohio and Florida. He allegedly voted early in Ohio. In 2022, the prosecutor says he voted in person in Ohio and by mail in Florida.
You have violated with impunity one of our most cherished rights, that every citizen in this country, regardless of race, creed, or socioeconomic status, speaks with one voice and one vote. Sir, your opinion does not outweigh any of us other fellow citizens. You do not have any greater right than any other fellow citizen in this country.
Saunders could face another investigation and possible sanction against his license for ethical misconduct from the Board of Professional Conduct. As a convicted felon, Saunders is stripped of his right to vote.
You screwed up, guy. You should have just asked the governor to find you 10,000 votes, then they would have let you off scot-free. Anyway, in more MAGA projection, Michigan evangelical church worship leader and Christian recording artist Zachary Radcliffe has been arrested for child sex crimes. Yeah, this dingus, you can always tell by the haircut. Zachary Joseph Radcliffe, 29, Oakwood Church, in Ypsilanti worship leader? I don't know, I'm definitely fucking up that name. And Christian music recording artist has been charged with 6 counts of child sexually abusive activity, 2 counts child sexual abuse material, criminal sexual conduct in the first degree, and 1 count of using a computer to commit crime. There's his laundry list of charges there, and there's his mugshot. You feeling famous now, fuckboy? And if you guys aren't following Bex on Twitter, go give her a follow, because she's just fantastic. She does nothing but report on sex offenders and pedophiles getting arrested, and literally every single day, another one of these supposed Christian MAGA dipshits is getting busted for diddling kids, which is why it's hilarious that Republicans are constantly calling Democrats pedos. So, yeah, go give her a follow at Antifa Operative there. And, yeah, look at all the maggots that are, diddling kids these days. And they're always so quick to call Democrats pedos, aren't they? Actually, let's take a look at the total offenders in office by political party. You'll notice that the red takes up a massive portion of this little chart here, doesn't it? Democrats are, 10.8%? Republicans, 74.9, unknown 12.2, and libertarian, that little sliver there. This list is from I think 2017, a list of convicted Republican pedophiles. Yeah, there's there's 46. There should be 1,046 on this list by now, but yeah. Just putting it out there that they love to project their bullshit onto everybody else. Anyway, oh yeah, and just in case you thought Elon was the only douchebag billionaire pumping ridiculous sums of money into Trump's campaign, meet Miriam Adelson, who just donated $95 million to Trump's Preserve America super PAC. Keep in mind, this is the guy who regularly begs all you non-billionaires to send him money while surrounded by gold furniture. There she is. Miriam Edelson dumps $95 million in pro-Trump super PAC. Edelson has now given $100 million to the group, exceeding the $90 million she and her husband gave to support Trump in 2020.
Whatever you can send to the campaign, we put it into commercials. We're doing a lot of commercials, and they're really good. Whatever you could send, please send, and you have the link. But you're very special people. We have to win the election. It's the biggest election of our time. It's probably the biggest election maybe in the history of our country.
Yeah, you're real special, all right, if you send that jackass money. I mean, like, you need money so bad there, Donnie. How about you sell some of your gold furniture behind you?